Hey everyone, welcome back to Adventures with Edna. I'm Chris. Chance has got the weekend off. He's on vacation. And today, we're going to replace Edna's drop tie rods. And if you don't know what a drop tie rod is, this is what it is. This is actually a project I wanted to do with Chance, just to teach him how to do it. But these things really need to be done before I do any more driving in Edna. So we're going to make that happen today. So this is a drop tie rod. I got these from Speedway. The stock tie rods actually come straight out. But since Edna has a dropped axle, the straight out ones go directly into the springs, the leaf springs underneath, and these need to come down and under. And these are actually thicker than the original center link that goes between here, so it's actually slightly a bit of an upgrade over the original. And one of them, these are actually only about 4 years old now, because that was about how long ago I dropped Edna, codename Operation Dumbo Drop. One of them, they don't exactly specify right and left, but I guess they can go either way because it doesn't really matter. But the one that's on the passenger side, for some reason, will not take grease, even though it's new. You can put I don't know why it's plugged up. It will not take any grease. So I had to put some grease under the little boot here just to get some lubrication to it, but it is super worn out and you can feel it when it's driving, and we don't want to have an accident by that actually breaking, because safety. So today we're going to get those swapped out. We're going to go ahead and do both of them, even though only one's bad. It's just kind of like, if you got one new one, why not put the other one on? And we can always keep the one that's still good as a spare, just in case one goes bad again. We'll have one of them. So let's get started. First, we need a little bit of room to work. Next, let's get her up off the ground. Something has pooped on my jack. We're in the country, guys. That's gross. I just noticed a problem. We'll get it up in there and then I'll show you what it is. This might actually be easier to put these under once the wheels come off, which makes it seem even safer. Our caps off. Oh, we didn't want it to hit the ground. We're going to use this spark plug socket to take the wheels off because I cannot find a 13/16 socket anywhere. My whole set has vanished. All right, let's get some jack stands under this before it falls down. We gotta go a lot higher. Glad I didn't get the big jack stands. Easy does it. All right, let me show you guys what I found. Come on in here. So apparently, our aftermarket steering stabilizer ain't stabilizing anymore. It is supposed to be in this hole right here. That looks awesome too. All right, I don't remember what I said right here. The microphone went out. I don't remember why. And now it's 3 days later, now that I'm editing. But it's probably something along the lines of how the drop tie rod goes under the spring here instead of directly straight into it. And that all we need to do is pull this nut out of the top and the cotter pin, and we should be good to go from there to drop this side. Hopefully we have sound now. This is the one that's bad. Look at that, it's a Thanksgiving miracle. Alright, now we just need our pickle fork and we can drop this thing. I'm actually amazed that I found this, considering I couldn't even find the socket to take the wheels off. There's one. And there's two. I'm so glad this tailgate's fixed. Now, you may have noticed, you can't see the wood. So this is not a familiar sight. Don't worry, it's still there. What had happened was, you guys have never seen this before, but when I first bought Edna, she still had the original wood under here, but it was all rotted out, and this plate was right on top, and it had been welded in spots on here. So I took it out, I replaced all the wood, and I actually left this at my apartment, and yesterday I was over that way, and I went to go see if it was still there, and it was, so I threw it in the back, and I figured I'd find something to use it for, like maybe laying on the, if I have to get under the truck, laying on the ground to get under there. So that's the story behind that. I think we're going to delete on this, since it's apparently wasn't even noticeable that it wasn't hooked up. This one does have a little bit of play in it. I guess it wasn't perfect either, so I guess it's a good thing that these come as a set. We're going to go ahead and do both of them. Look at the other one that we knew was bad. This is the one that wasn't taking grease, that I just had to pack under the cap here. Look, even the race part is loose. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, that wasn't good at all. We want good steering. Nice and greasy. It's just all worn out. So neither one of these things is good anymore. Let's get this steering stabilizer off, since it's apparently not doing anything. Alright, we got to figure out which one's going on the left and which one's going on the right. And we're going to do that by matching up the threads as best we can. Those appear to be going in opposite directions. So it's this one. There's not an exact science to this. All we can really do is try to measure this up the best we can to not screw up the alignment. People do that different ways. Sometimes they count the threads. I don't know. There's ways. There's different ways. We're gonna make this as close as we can. First, we're gonna take off the safety lock. Came all the way off. So this should be loose now. Now that wants to turn now. Yes. That's where we want to be. Let's try and count visible threads from here to here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's recount just to make sure we're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we got to try to get this in the same boat. So we'll lift that up. We're going to twist that out. And our threads again. See where we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. So we need 2 turns. 1, 2. Let's see where that puts us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so let's try to put our lock back in. Not let that hang down like that. Slide a wrench in there. Tighten the lock back up. Good and tight. Rinse and repeat. Cut isn't even straight. Wonder who butchered that. This might be overkill, but I actually had those back off once and realized they were really loose. Get our grease fittings in. It's 8mm, in case anybody's wondering. Go ahead and give it a shot of grease before we put it on. Kill the camera while we're at it. You gotta be kidding me, that's all we got was one pump. We just robbed Peter to pay Paul. So we took the end off of this grease fitting, or off of this grease gun, and swapped it with this one because it still had the needle fitting on it from another project, which I'm trying to remember what now. So we're gonna get these things greased, one way or another. Well, I guess we're coming to a stopping point. 3 grease guns, every single one of them out of grease. Being that it's Thanksgiving, we can't go get more grease until tomorrow. So we'll see you then. All right, we're back, and we got grease. Although it's probably one of the worst experiences I've ever had changing one of these cartridges before. Thought it was going to be a quick, easy job. It took 15 minutes. The old cartridge didn't want to come out. I've had this grease gun for, I don't know, 4 years now, maybe? I can't remember for sure. But I know that the cartridge that was in it has been in there for at least 4 years. And I only just changed it for the first time, but it was all stuck in on the inside. So I had to peel it out of there. And then I had to cut short the tube to get it all the way in there, because some of it's still stuck down in here-ish. All right, now we can grease it. Now you might be asking, why are we greasing it now and not after we put it in? It's because I had to take the flex hose off of that, and I don't have the clearance to put this straight up and down under the truck. So we're doing it now, like now. Don't drop it. At this point, all I have to do, now that it's greased, is just slide it under the truck, tighten that bolt and that bolt, back on the spindles, and put the cotter keys in it, put the wheels back on. All right, now we just slide the whole thing back underneath, pop our ends back in. Cotter pin. rinse and repeat. Clean up all that extra. Might as well do some more greasing while we're in here. I'll move the wheels back and forth a little bit to try to get the tension off of the tie rods. And this was flopping around before, and now it seems good and tight. So now let's throw some wheels on, take it for a test drive. There. Test drive time. The steering wheel's straight, so we got that going for us. So far it seems about, I don't know, it's hard to say if it's better or not, because there's 70 years, still have the 70-year-old gearbox in it, or steering box. The steering wheel's straight, so the alignment should be fairly close. It's going down the road straight. We're going to make a turn up here where the road gets particularly bad, and she kind of has a tendency to jump around, so that's why I was hoping to, see how it does over there. We're getting into the real bumpy area now, so we'll see how she does, see if it's an improvement over how she normally is through here. Well, it still wasn't great, but it was definitely an improvement, so I guess we did some good. The test drive went pretty well, I thought. I actually, after I stopped filming, I ran a couple of errands, so I probably put at least another 10 or 15 miles on the truck. Seems to be an improvement over what it was before. It's not jumping around near as bad as it was. It could be corrected with an alignment a little bit. I do have bias ply tires on here instead of radials, which I've heard kind of want to follow the road. Like if there's ruts in the road, which there seems to be a lot of out here in the country. Other than that, the project went fairly smooth, other than that 15 minutes I wasted trying to get that grease gun cartridge changed out and having to take a whole extra day on the project. I did get that metal plate back out of the bed here. That's going to be just laying on the ground, so if I have to get under Edna or any of the other cars for that matter, I don't have to lay in the gravel until I can get a better concrete setup out here. So small moves, doing what I can with what I got. But if you haven't checked out our Patreon yet, do check that out. We're just getting started with it, but we have exclusive member-only content that we're trying to put over there. So definitely go check that out. The link will be in the description below. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. Thanks for watching Adventures with Edna, and we'll see you in the next one.